If you've crossed the age of 65 and you've been noticing that something just doesn't feel quite right anymore, maybe your energy isn't what it used to be, maybe sleep has become more of a battle than a rest, maybe that spark, that drive, that sense of vitality you used to wake up with has quietly faded. I want you to know something important right now. You are not alone. And more importantly, this is not something you simply have to accept as your new normal. What I'm going to share with you today could genuinely change the way you feel every single day. And I say that not to sell you something or get your hopes up for nothing, but because the science behind what I'm about to explain is real. It's compelling, and it's something that far too many men over 65 have never been told by their doctor. Today, I'm talking about one specific vitamin, one that most men are severely deficient in by the time they reach their mid 60s. And I'm going to walk you through exactly why taking it at night rather than in the morning makes all the difference for your potency, your vigor, and your ability to finally get deep, restorative sleep again. So stay with me through this entire video because everything connects. And by the end, you're going to have a clear, actionable plan you can start tonight. But before I dive in, I want to ask you something, and I genuinely want you to answer in the comments below. How would you describe your energy and sleep quality right now on a scale of 1 to 10? Just drop a number down there because I want to understand where you are, and I want you to connect with the thousands of other men watching this who are going through exactly the same thing. You might be surprised how many of you feel the same way and how powerful it is to realize you're not alone in this. Now, let me tell you what's actually happening inside your body after 65, because once you understand this, the solution is going to make complete sense. As men age, especially past the age of 60 and into their mid 60s and beyond, several critical biological shifts happen simultaneously. Your body starts producing less testosterone. That's well known. But what most people don't realize is that testosterone production is deeply intertwined with another system that most doctors overlook during a standard checkup. Your body's ability to synthesize and regulate certain key micronutrients drops dramatically with age. Absorption slows down, cellular demand for repair and maintenance goes up, and the gap between what your body needs and what it's actually getting widens every single year. One of the most critical and most overlooked nutrients caught in that gap is vitamin D3, but not just any form of it and not just at any time of day. Here's what I mean, and here's where it gets genuinely interesting. Vitamin D3 is not just a vitamin in the traditional sense. It behaves more like a hormone. It has receptors in nearly every tissue in your body: your brain, your heart, your muscles, your immune system, your reproductive organs. And when your levels of D3 are suboptimal, which studies consistently show happens in the vast majority of men over 65, almost every system in your body takes a hit. Your mood drops, your energy fades, your immune system weakens, your muscle strength declines, your sleep becomes shallow and fragmented, and yes, your sexual health and drive quietly diminish as well. Here's a number that should stop you in your tracks. Research published in major clinical journals has found that men over 65 with low vitamin D levels have significantly lower testosterone levels than men of the same age with healthy D3 levels. This is not a coincidence. Vitamin D3 plays a direct role in the production of testosterone by stimulating Leydig cells in the testes, which are the very cells responsible for testosterone synthesis. When D3 is low, testosterone production slows. When testosterone is low, potency, energy, motivation, confidence, all of it starts to quietly erode. And here's something that took me years of looking at research to fully appreciate. The timing of when you take vitamin D3 matters enormously. Most men, if they take it at all, take it in the morning with breakfast and move on. But emerging research strongly suggests that taking D3 in the evening, specifically with your last meal of the day or close to bedtime, produces measurably better outcomes for sleep quality. Here's why. Vitamin D3 is fat soluble, meaning it absorbs best when taken with dietary fat. When you take it at night with dinner or a small fat containing snack, your body has the entire overnight period to absorb and utilize it during your sleep cycle, the very time when hormonal regulation, cellular repair, and tissue restoration are at their peak. Your body does its most important maintenance work while you sleep, and having adequate D3 in your system during those overnight hours is like giving your body's repair crew the right tools to actually do the job. But that's only part of the picture. D3 interacts directly with your brain's pineal gland, the tiny structure responsible for producing melatonin, which is your primary sleep hormone. When D3 levels are healthy, melatonin production is better regulated. When D3 is deficient, your sleep wake cycle can become dysregulated, leading to that frustrating pattern so many men over 65 know all too well: lying awake, unable to fall deeply asleep, waking up multiple times during the night, and then dragging through the day exhausted. I have spoken with men in their late 60s and 70s who told me they hadn't had a truly restful night of sleep in years. They'd tried everything: melatonin supplements, sleep aids, limiting caffeine, cutting off screens at night. And while those things have their place, none of them address the root biological issue. When they finally corrected their D3 deficiency and did so consistently, taking it in the evening with healthy fat, many of them reported noticing a difference in their sleep within just 2 to 3 weeks. That's not a miracle. That's physiology working the way it's supposed to when you give it what it needs. Now, I want to talk specifically about potency and vigor because I know that's close to the heart of why many of you clicked on this video, and you deserve a straightforward, honest conversation about it without embarrassment or vague language. Potency, the ability to perform sexually, to maintain libido, to feel that sense of masculine vitality, is one of the first things men notice declining after 65 and one of the last things they want to talk about. But I want to tell you clearly, a significant portion of age related decline in this area is not inevitable, it's nutritional, it's hormonal. And vitamin D3 sits at the center of both. Studies have shown that men with adequate vitamin D levels have significantly better erectile function scores than men who are deficient. One landmark study found that men with vitamin D deficiency were 32% more likely to experience erectile dysfunction compared to men with sufficient levels. That is a striking number. And the mechanism is straightforward. D3 supports healthy endothelial function, meaning the health of the inner lining of your blood vessels. Proper blood flow is the foundation of erectile function, and without adequate D3, that vascular health quietly declines. Beyond that, D3 supports nitric oxide production in blood vessels, which is the same biological pathway that prescription medications for erectile dysfunction try to enhance pharmacologically. Supporting that pathway naturally through nutrition and micronutrient optimization is something your body responds to without side effects. Now, I want to be very clear here because I believe in giving you complete, honest information. Vitamin D3 is not a magic cure. It's not going to reverse severe medical conditions on its own. If you have significant health issues, you should absolutely work with your physician. What I'm telling you is that D3 deficiency is a widespread, clinically documented, and highly correctable factor that silently worsens energy, sleep, hormonal health, and sexual vitality in millions of men over 65. And correcting it is one of the most evidence based, safe, and affordable steps you can take right now. Let me walk you through what a proper approach to D3 supplementation looks like for men in this age group, because dosage and form matter more than most people realize. First, if you haven't had your vitamin D levels tested recently, I strongly encourage you to ask your doctor for a 25 hydroxy vitamin D blood test. This is a simple, inexpensive test that tells you your current serum D3 level. Optimal levels for men over 65 are generally considered to be between 50 and 80 nanograms per milliliter. Many men are walking around with levels in the 15 to 25 range, which is technically deficient even if their doctor hasn't flagged it as a serious concern. In terms of supplementation, most research supports doses between 2,000 and 5,000 IU of D3 per day for men who are deficient or in the lower range of normal. Some men with significant deficiency are supplemented at higher doses under medical supervision, but for general maintenance and optimization, 2,000 to 4,000 IU taken in the evening with a meal containing healthy fat, think olive oil, avocado, eggs, or a handful of nuts, is a solid, well supported starting point. There's one more critical piece I need to share with you, and it's something many people miss. Vitamin D3 works best when it's paired with vitamin K2. Here's why this matters. D3 increases calcium absorption in your gut, which is great for bone health. But you want that calcium going into your bones and teeth, not depositing in your arteries and soft tissues. K2 is the nutrient that activates specific proteins, particularly one called osteocalcin, that direct calcium to the right places. Without K2, high dose D3 supplementation over time can potentially contribute to arterial calcification. With K2 on board, you get all the benefits of D3 while keeping your cardiovascular system protected. Look for a supplement that combines D3 with K2 as MK7, which is the most bioavailable and longest acting form of K2. This combination has become the gold standard for D3 supplementation in men over 60. I also want to mention magnesium briefly because it completes this picture beautifully. Magnesium is a cofactor for vitamin D activation. Your body can't convert D3 into its active form, called calcitriol, without adequate magnesium. Studies estimate that more than 50% of older adults are deficient in magnesium. Taking D3 without sufficient magnesium is like trying to run a car engine with good fuel but no spark. The enzyme that activates D3 needs magnesium to do its job. A magnesium supplement, specifically magnesium glycinate, which is the gentlest on the stomach and the most bioavailable, taken alongside your D3 and K2 in the evening, creates a powerful nutritional stack that supports sleep, hormone function, muscle recovery, heart health, and vascular integrity all at once. Magnesium glycinate at 200 to 400 milligrams in the evening has also been independently shown to improve sleep quality, reduce nighttime muscle cramps, lower cortisol levels, and support healthy blood pressure. So, when you combine it with your D3 and K2, you're not just addressing one problem, you're giving your body a comprehensive set of tools to rebuild and restore while you sleep. I want to take a moment now to talk about what vigor really means because I think we sometimes reduce it to just physical energy, and it's so much more than that. Vigor is waking up and actually wanting to get out of bed. It's the mental clarity to engage with your life, your family, your passions, your purpose. It's the physical strength to stay active, to move without pain, to do the things that make you feel like yourself. And it's the emotional resilience to face challenges without feeling depleted before the day has even started. All of that, every dimension of what it means to feel like a vital, capable man, is supported by the same underlying biology: hormonal health, vascular health, sleep quality, cellular energy production, and vitamin D3 working alongside K2 and magnesium touches all of those systems in ways that are measurable and real. I've seen men in their late 60s, their 70s, even their early 80s who made targeted nutritional changes like this and reported feeling meaningfully better within a matter of weeks. Not overnight, real biological change takes consistency. But within 4 to 8 weeks of correcting a D3 deficiency while optimizing magnesium and K2 intake, many men report better sleep, more morning energy, improved mood, greater interest in intimacy, and a general sense that their body is working with them again rather than against them. That's what this is really about. Not a supplement trend, not a shortcut. A genuine, science backed nutritional correction that gives your aging body the raw materials it has been quietly starving for. Before I wrap up, I want to remind you of a few practical steps you can take starting right now. Ask your doctor to test your 25 hydroxy vitamin D levels at your next appointment or call and request it today. Choose a high quality D3 supplement that is combined with K2 as MK7, typically at a ratio of 5,000 IU of D3 to 100 micrograms of K2. Add magnesium glycinate at 200 to 400 milligrams to your evening routine. Take all of these with your evening meal that includes some source of healthy fat and give it a full 8 weeks of consistency before you evaluate the results because your body needs time to replenish what has been depleted over years. And please, I'm asking you sincerely, go down to the comments right now and share how you're feeling. Tell me what your biggest challenge has been. Tell me what your energy and sleep have been like, because that conversation matters. And I read every comment. You deserve to feel strong, rested, and fully alive at every age. And the fact that you're here watching this, doing this research for yourself, that already tells me something important about you. You're not willing to just accept the fade. You're looking for real answers. And I hope today I've given you some. Take care of yourself. Start tonight. Your body is ready to respond.